Sup, Reitanna? It's Reitanna Seishin here. Sorry, I've been just like not uploading videos. My problem now is just the fact that there's so much I like to do, and there's not enough hours in the day. If I didn't have to sleep, I'd be able to get so much other stuff done. That is my English. Um, and lately I've just been so happy modeling, 3D modeling and stuff. Um, it's just been really nice for my creative outlet. Off topic though, 2 days ago my heartbeat started beating really heavily and quickly as if I'm excited about something, like something's gonna happen. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. But the thing is it's not. And I took my resting heart rate once today, but I'm gonna keep track of it for a couple of days. And it was 108 beats per minute. I took it I think about 20 minutes later and it was 103 beats per minute, but so I don't know if that's just me being fat and I need to start exercising. Luckily, the heat is starting to die down here. It's like I moved from California to Idaho where the heat is following me. It was the hottest summer here in the record history of Boise, Idaho, ever. So but it's starting to cool down, and Mike's a little sick, but if he's feeling well enough, we're gonna go walking tonight. I'm just hoping that this isn't the start of me getting diabetes, so I'm really going to have to crack down on my sugar intake. Anyway, so there's a little warning in case I die. I'm kidding, I'm not gonna die. Anyway, so this video is basically just. Alright, so for those of you who are Sims fans and Doki Doki Literature Club fans, you'll know, most likely from experience, that there's not a lot of custom content out there. And this is the best custom content I've come across so far. And I use the word best very lightly because it's not very good at all. So we're just gonna kind of gloss over this person's CC. Note that the eyes and the blush are not the same from the same person. But it made me realize that you know how I always say I shouldn't have to fix your shit. Well, I can't fix this shit, so I have to just try and think about how I'm gonna combat this. Now I don't know if these are EA meshes for the shirt and the shorts, but the shorts are doing something funky, and I really don't know who's at fault for that. But the shirt I can see has some texture issues with the lace. That's not huge big of a deal. Let's pull up a picture of Sayori. Sayori. As an external hard drive, then take a while to load. If you understood that, please leave it in a comment of what you think I just said. And like the video, of course. Like it. Like it even if you hate it. In fact, you should like it more if you hate it. So let's go to Sayori. In her normal clothes, in her casual clothes. I should have just went to actual resources. That's what I call it. I call it actual resources. Okay, so I don't have a full body one. So it looks like her shorts are supposed to be darker and her sleeves are rolled up. Please show me. Oh my god. God damn it. Yeah, her sleeves are rolled up a little. So not that bad. Really, it's just the shorts that are funky. The hair, though, I'm just... Okay. Where are you, girlfriend? Okay, so it's mostly the hairs that this person made that bother me. Um, or one, it's too low. Like, it looks like she has no volume up here. Like, her hair just is like sitting on her head. You know, I don't know, it looks weird. And it's so open. It opens the face. It makes her face look wider. And I hate the cartoony shading. That's just my opinion. And you can tell that the mesh is just not very uniform. It definitely could be better. The color is similar. But it's mostly the fact that her hair is definitely shorter in the back and longer in the front and moves forward. For those of you who have experience with cosmetology, shorter hair directs longer hair. So if your hair, hang on. If your hair is shorter in the back, then that means it's going to direct the long hair to move toward the front regardless. So, like, if you have a mullet and your hair is shorter in the front and longer in the back, it's gonna push your long hair back. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna address the eyes. The eyes were actually just the iris and the pupil. There was no white of the eyes, so they are color. They're contact lenses in the face paint category. So when you'd put them on, you'd be able to see her actual eyes that she had on before behind the contacts, and that was a problem. So I fixed it, but I'm thinking of making my own eyes anyway because of the fact that they don't look as accurate as I would like them. They were also really dull in color, so I had to saturate them and increase the contrast, but they just don't look very close to Satchley's style, as close as I would want them to. So I'm probably going to do my own. And the blush is by the same person who did the eyes, I think. The blush is fine. The blush looks cute. There's 4 different ones for each Doki. So we're going to go ahead and move on to her... this. Okay, so... So we know Sayori is more peppy, happy-go-lucky, outside of her depression. Basically, if she were on medication, she'd be like she was in the first part of the first act of the game. She'd be happy and silly and carefree. So her, blazer's obviously open. Her shirt is tucked into her skirt, though. You could still see the sweater vest, but her shirt's tucked into her skirt. And it looks like this is unbuttoned a little bit. I know that this is one of the game's blazers, which confuses me, because if it was one of the game's blazers, why is there this gap in the neck? And why are the shoulders like that? Look, see what I do with the shoulders. See? They're normal. They're too wide for my taste, so I put them in, and no matter how much they go in, it looks like she has like little space suit shoulders, 80s style, bitches. And I don't know why that's doing that, because if I'm correct, it's supposed to be this mesh, right? That looks exactly the same. So why is it like that? Not only that, but the little tie, the weights are not properly adjusted, so her boobs go through the thingy-mabobber, and then you can't even see the ribbon going under the thingy, and I'm just gonna say thingy from now on and assume you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. For me, as a perfectionist, I like to get things as accurate as humanly possible. So a few of these things I'm saying are just nitpicking, like the fact that there are 3 buttons right here and none of them are yellow. Not only that, but the color of the blazer is wrong. It's too dark, and it's a sort of different shade. It's like a sort of reddish pink than it should be here. What else? The white. The shirt isn't white enough. The vest's too orange. Now, I know there are limitations, but when you're making custom content, you need to think about, is it going to look good enough for other people to want to use? And when I saw all this, I was like, oh, really? Then the colors on the skirt are too noisy. Not only that, but I think the skirt's probably too short. Now, I'm almost positive that the skirt is just a recolor of, not that one, let's see, of this. No, even that's longer. You could have used that. I don't know what this skirt's a recolor of, but it's too short. And the texture is extremely noisy. It doesn't look like there are any normals on it. So Sayori's blazer is probably the worst. Yeah. Not only that, but the person who made it did not include shoes. So, I'm sure you're like, why are you complaining about all this? Oh, and then they included her pajama shirt, but not her shorts. Now notice that her hair is different. I'll get to that in a moment. Let's look at the other dokis. So, for Yuri, I'm going to go ahead and go into these folders instead so that I can actually see a fully compiled sprite. Doot 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 doot. Reitanna, we love watching you scroll through things. I know, isn't it fun? So we don't get to see exactly how her pants look, but they are obviously black stretch pants. These are base game pants, and we all know that Maxis can't do black and Maxis can't do white. So, I'm gonna recolor it or whatever, but they didn't include, the person didn't include her stretch pants. Not only that, but I also feel like her sweater, her sweater's pretty accurate, but I feel like it's too thick. Like it just makes her breastises look very weird. But once again, the problem I have is with the hair. Once again, where'd the top of your head go? That's not how hair works. And it bugs me. Oh. I wonder if they did it with her blazer like they did with a normal blazer. Did they? No, they didn't. Oh, but I see some texture issues right there. Oh, yes, they did. They put the ribbon on the skin. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me pause this. So this is how a sim is mapped out. Unfortunately, unlike furniture, one item doesn't have one map, just the sim. The sim has one map. So everything that the sim wears is on this map. Anything that is seen on the face goes on the face. These lines are called UVs. It shows you how the mesh would look if it were on a spread out on a 2D surface. So this is the face, these are the ears, this is the inside of the mouth, and the teeth are right here. For hair, anything that goes in this area is going to show up on hair meshes. Hats, same here. So if somebody has, I wonder if I can make an example real quick. I'm going to have to use custom content. Okay, so take off the feminine. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure which wrist I put this in. I had to move this texture. I had to clone Zalma's version of this and move the texture so I could have both of them. So see, I believe I moved, because I think this was in the earring section or something, but I moved the texture into one of the bracelets, and you can see that the bracelet, for one, the bracelet isn't shiny. I'm not sure if that's because of her shorts, because of her shirt. It must be because of the backpack. Or the hair. No, I remember the hair was taking speculars off of everything. So if two items are in the same texture space, they're going to overlap each other. Oh, so it was the backpack. Okay, note to self, fix speculars on backpack. So here's left bracelet, right bracelet, right ring, right ring, left ring, glasses, pendant for necklace, neck / choker, middle left ring, index left ring, index right ring, middle right ring, earrings. There are little tiny texture spaces for things like, piercings. Bicep R, bicep L, right, left. And then down here, you have usually where the shirts will go. So anything textured here will go on the torso. Any texture here will go on the legs, thighs, and bottom. Anything textured here will go on the feet and ankles. Anything textured on these squares are going to go on the arms. Anything textured here will go on the hands. And you have this huge extra space right here. So there is no reason for this person to have put the texture on the neck, because you have other spaces too, like you have between the arms. And some, even EA textures will have stuff in between the arms. You can tell a lot of utilizations of textures by examining EA textures. So there's no reason why that should be there. Anyway, let's go back to Yuri. So again, where is my mind? Where is your head? Her hair is too short. If you can see, her hair actually goes to about her butt. I wonder if I need to keep this open. I might. And as you can see, this hair goes to the small of her back. Also, the sides of her hair, you can't actually tell how long they are from this picture, but you can from this picture. It's very long. Like, Yuri, you have ridiculously long hair. I love that face. Why is the psychotic one always everybody's favorite? And I don't know, it looks pieced together. Like, it looks like something I would make out of clay when I was 10. And once again, eyes and blush are not the same person as the hair and stuff, but I still had to fix them. I mean, the eyes aren't bad. The original person just needs to put the sclera on and it's fine. And the blush definitely is not bad. Now, their faces look really different right now because I don't have my skins in game right now. I left a lot of my custom content out, so that's why you see missing meshes and stuff in the catalog and stuff. So let's go to your blazer. Alright, so for this blazer, you could definitely tell compared to Sayori's that, for one, it's shorter, and for two, the white is even worse. Now, this mesh is actually... It's up here somewhere. It's this mesh. So, excuse me. So I personally don't like this mesh with her boobs anyway. But you can see, once again, that EA doesn't know what white is. There are 3 buttons on this one. And there's a tie. Now, the tie is not textured. The tie is actually modeled. It's part of the mesh. So, if you look really closely, you can actually see the tie mesh still there. I'm actually impressed that this tie isn't sinking into her neck. There's no neck issues here. The shadow is kind of ugh, but I think that, yeah, that's EA's fault. But the ribbons still do go into her boobies. Now, we all know Yuri for her luscious body. So, you know, that's kind of a problem. But most of the problem here is, again, the ribbon is on the neck, which is okay for, like, long-haired characters. You could barely see it. But when it comes to, like, Natsuki or Monica with her hair in the ponytail, it's visible. Nitpicking, the problems I have with this is, again, the colors. Otherwise, EA is mostly at fault for the way that I do not like how this mesh does not hug the body enough. But, you know, the person could have easily taken out the tie. The skirt is the same. And was there anything? No. Okay. So now let's move on to Natsuki. And she looks terrible. Mostly because she's really skinny and really tall. I don't have my height slider mod in the game right now, so she looks kind of bad. And plus, her the lack of her skin details makes her face look ugh. But she actually looks really cute with all my mods in, and I'll make sure to show you and stuff. This hair is not right. This hair is terrible. Again, it's so square. Natsuki, we need to pull you up, ski. Natsuki. So let's go ahead and pull up a compiled. For one, it's the color's wrong, and for two, again, where's the where's the top half of your head? And for three, it's not really that blunt. Again, that might just be the hairdresser in me talking, though. The shirt is okay. The texture is a little wonky. It could actually be a deeper pink, even though it's a really light pink. For situations like this, it should probably be a deeper pink just because of the lighting. The straps on the shirt are her bra or undershirt or whatever she's wearing is underneath. Is pointed weirdly. The UVs should be moved. I can tell that I think this is supposed to be sort of an edited mesh of this. Then the skirt looks absolutely nothing like the cute little cake skirt she's wearing. Oh my god, it's so cute. I love you, Natsuki. You're adorable. And not only that, but if we take off the skirt, the shirt texture is on the torso where the skin should be. Looking at this, it looks like it should be a skin tight shirt. Maybe not. I'll have to think about that. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like the black shirt is an undershirt. So the undershirt should be skin tight. So technically, if we wanted to be technical, wrong one. Let's see. If this is her waist, hips, thighs. So here's the waist. This shirt should actually come down to around here, and this part of the texture should be black. With the skirt is probably a little too high-waisted. I'm not sure. I don't know about that, but it's definitely the wrong style. Now there's something I noticed recently about Natsuki's uniform and plus the uniform also has 3 black buttons. But anyway, so you can see I guess you can't see it with her hair, but a little bit. Again, though, it doesn't look right. But there's something I noticed about her outfit that I'm not sure anybody has noticed. And if I'm wrong about that, please tell me. I checked all of her sprites. Her white undershirt is wrinkled, and the buttons are this one's like undone. It's like it's either trying to show that her uniform's a little too big for her, or it's trying to show that she got dressed in a hurry. Or who knows, both. But with her sleeves, her uniform does look quite big on her. Let's see. Kind of. That might be also because I think these are part of Yuri's arms. Somebody edited this sprite. But with all of her actual sprites, this remains the same. So for me, that's a big like, ah! And that would mean her sleeves would need to be longer. I didn't even think about that. And plus, EA's mesh does not do very good in trying to show that she's very, very skinny. So, what else do I have for her? I don't think I have anything else for her. Monica, just Monica. Once again, the hair. Where's the top half of your head? It looks weird and thingy-mabob, and what is going on here? And this is a thing. That's a thing. The bow looks, well, terrible, but I mean, and then, so let's pull up a picture of Monica. Monica is probably what it is. I wish there was an official, yeah, so not only is the hair color way too dark and too enriched, it looks like the sides of her hair are a little too long, and the ponytail, if it wasn't it would be about to her butt, making it longer than Yuri's. So the length of the ponytail is decent, but the ponytail does not have enough life in it, and it's so square. Her bow, also, not only is the texture just horribly, like, stretched on there, her bow is big and saggy. Like, it has a lot of weight on it. The ponytail itself should be higher. And I don't think I have to explain what's going on right there. Let's take a look at your blazer. The stockings, obviously, I'm gonna redo the stockings. They're actually a little too high, and that shine, doesn't really make any sense. Especially with the fact that the person did not create the clothing to have the same kind of cartoony shine as the hair and the stockings. Because you can see these little spots that make it a little more animated. Because it's anime. But if you're going to go with something that's realistic looking, then that's not something you want to do. Not only that, but the 3 buttons are stretched, and let's see. And I don't know how you did that, my friend, because the buttons on the regular one are properly placed. So, what? She's the one you can see the bow on the most. On the neck. On the neck. And she doesn't have an everyday outfit. Since I don't have all of my CC in my folder right now, this isn't actually what she's wearing for her everyday outfit. But what I tried to base her everyday outfit on was one she's wearing in a mod. There's one screenshot, but I want to show the screenshot with the belt in it. So I don't know what mod this is, but I wanted to base her outfit sort of on this one. And again, I will show that. So here I am, Reitanna, complaining about things, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh, well, this is probably the best somebody could do, and, they did what they could with the resources they had. And if you have such a problem with it, why don't you make your own? So I started doing exactly that. I haven't got the clothes ready yet. I'm actually working on the blazer and the skirt, not Sayori's blazer. I'm working on the main, on basically Monika's blazer, Monika and Yuri's blazer, and the skirt. I'm gonna have to make Natsuki's a little different. But if we go back to hair, then I can show you. Now, I didn't make this from scratch. Oh, I love how there's a little bit of texture on the neck right there, too. I did not make their hairs from scratch. I converted them from Miku Miku Dance, from the best available downloads that I could find, and I'm still not completely happy with Sayori's hair. I did do a lot of tweaking. A lot of the poor quality of it is the fact that Miku Miku Dance meshes are very high poly, and I had to lower the poly count. I personally do not like the back of her hair because if we look at a sprite of Sayori, let's just pull up one of all of them so I don't have to keep. Do 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 do. Here we go. This is where they all have fangs and Natsuki's fang is gone. So if we look at Sayori's hair, again, it is longer in the front, but her ears are covered. So with my hair meshes, with my conversions, mesh edits, etc., blah, 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 whatever you want to call them, these are probably just temporary, especially since the back texture looks awful. And I can admit that. I made it, so I can admit that it looks awful. I mean, I didn't make it from scratch, again, but I did do a lot of tweaking to try and make it look as good as I could. I am decently okay with the front, and then there's the bow. So I made a couple different versions of her hair. Her athletic would be the same. So I took her bow off for sleep. Again, it's the way that these are made. I am possibly going to look for better meshes for their hair and convert them, but this is just for now. For party, I gave her these buns that did not like the texture I made for her hair. I don't know why the front looks darker than the rest of the hair. It seems to be the same with, kind of the same with the back. I just cannot get over how terrible the back looks. So I don't know if this is my problem or if, I don't know. I do not know what the problem is. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these personal until I can fix them, or if I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm going to release them anyway. But then again, you'd probably get somebody else like me going, this is bad, I could do it better. Which I'm not saying people can't do this better, because there are definitely better modders out there than me, considering the fact that I've only been doing this for a year, and I'm still... I'd say I'm I don't even know if I'd be intermediate at this point. But what I'm saying is that if I can do something better, then, this should not have been a thing. I have yet to have tried to make a full hair mesh myself, but I definitely plan on trying. Otherwise, if the texture didn't look so bad, this would actually look pretty cute. For Swim, I made a little ponytail. Again, texture's off. That's going to be the way it is. So I made the ponytail based on... I found basically two different swimsuits for each character, for each Doki. And the one that I liked... okay, so I based it off of this. The problem with this, obviously, is that if her hair was up like that, her ear would be, showing, and, but, it's people like me who are able to notice these things, and where other people go, well, it's not that bad, though. I mean, get over it, right? For those of you who are perfectionists, and especially for those of you who have actual crippling OCD, I do not have OCD, I'm just a perfectionist. There's the difference. You get where I'm coming from. So, her bathing suit is not in the folder right now. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to remake her bathing suit, but that's what her hair is based on. For hot weather, I also gave her a ponytail over here, and... it's just, oh God, the texture drives me nuts. I don't know why the texture works on Monica so well, but, and then for cold weather, I guess I kept her hair up, because her down hair clips through her scarf. I'll end up showing you all of this later. So right now I'm just showcasing, my hairs. I haven't finished with the clothing yet. I'll show you what I'm doing with the blazer, because I still have to test it. So if we go to Yuri, I do not like it. I'm going to be completely honest right now. I do not like her hair. I tried everything I could to fix it. The mesh just wasn't very good to begin with. For one, her little tails here, whatever, were incredibly short. So I had to make them longer. I had to weight them. If we take a look at Yuri, her little tails come above her bangs. With this, I didn't really have that option, so it's underneath her bangs, which I know likey, and it looks like she should be wearing a headband, but she should not be wearing a headband. I had to make the back of her hair longer, but we've got like these octopus tendril things going on that just don't really look right, and with the way they were meshed, the texture looks really weird on it, especially since some of the UVs make the texture go horizontal. And I was looking at it and I'm trying to fix it the best I can. Some of them I had to remap myself. Not only that, but her ears are supposed to be visible. But with the way that this was working, well, as you can see, it's just really not working. Her hair clips through her shoulders in kind of just ways that I do not approve of. So this hair for her is definitely temporary. So yeah, if you guys don't like the way the hair looks, I don't blame you. I'm not going to dispute that. For formal... boop. Oh, did I not put her formal hair in? I could have sworn that I put her formal hair in here. I guess not yet, but it's, I don't remember. Did I keep your hair down for formal? I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But I have a version without the clip for sleepy time. Let's go to Natsuki. Boop. This mesh was pretty messed up too. And especially with the direction the UVs are going. In fact, this was such a mess that I was just like, I'm not even sure how much effort I want to spend on this. Which is why it doesn't look as good as it should. So this is another hair where I'm pretty unhappy with it, but again, it is better than the other one because, hey, look, she has a head. So, yeah, and then I haven't made her other hairs yet, but I'm obviously going to make a version where it's down. But it's really Monica's hair that I'm decently proud of. So it's closer to the color of her hair. Again, the decimation caused some quality loss. The original mesh had her bangs kind of wrinkly like this. I couldn't really fix it. I had to remake the bow. And I did use that person's little tails, but I straightened them out and made them smoother. But I made her little front tails about the length they should be on a more realistic person. And then her ponytail actually looks pretty good. And as you could see, I mean, it doesn't look fantastic here, but her hair is agreeing with the textures a lot better than the other girls are. I just wanted to keep the textures consistent. Now, with Monica, I'm not sure how much of her hair I'm going to change if I can find a better mesh. It really depends. But I am definitely more happy with this than the other girls' hairs. Now, I've actually gone through and given her hairs. These are Franken meshes. Texture's not really agreeing too much here, but unlike the others, it's actually pretty acceptable for me, and that's saying something. Let's see, for athletic, I just gave her a ponytail back. For sleep, I put it down. This is another Franken mesh. One that I'm not super happy with. The back of the hair is, I believe it's from, it's either Kajiko or K-Studio, and I don't remember which. There were some meshing problems, especially since the original mesh clipped in the shoulder more than that is doing right now. Some issues just with decimating. From the front, it doesn't look too bad. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to really keep it that way or not. For swim, gave her that. Now, the person who made the CC also made swimsuits. 4 different swimsuits. These are basically how Japanese school swimsuits look. And there are 4 different writings on her name tag here. And I'm not sure which one is supposed to say what. But if I know enough Japanese, I know that this is 3 syllables. This is some crazy kanji shit going on there. This is 3 syllables, and this is 2 syllables, I think. I'm probably actually going to have to go look up how their names are spelled in Japanese and not in, Romanji. So, but hers looked the most complicated. And since her name has squid at the end, I totally can see her name being made out of kanji. Or hiragana. I'm not sure. I do not know. I only know a couple of little basic things about Japanese characters. Unfortunately, I did not have enough time to learn. For her swimsuit, I put her hair down because I wanted to give her a sun hat. Now that I'm looking at it, part of her ponytail. Keep moving, girl. Yeah. Okay. Note to self, gotta fix that, otherwise it looks pretty okay. Bad. For her, just gave her regular hair for up, and then down hair for her winter, for cold. So that's what I'm doing. I haven't gotten to MC yet, but I'll show you what his hair looks like. I definitely don't like his eyes. I like the idea of MC having yellow gold eyes, but the way it looks in I don't need that anymore. The way it looks do 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 do. Come on. It's more gold, and these the top parts aren't really. Yeah, so again, gonna make my own. Gotta make my own eyes. So this is. I just couldn't even. Now, I haven't converted a mesh yet, so I'm using this for temporary. Obviously, it's not the same color. With his skin details, he actually looks pretty cute. Now, for the blazer, I don't like. This is again an EA mesh. Let's take a look at the original. I believe it's this one. Let's take a solid color. Now, the person had to add 3 buttons, obviously, but they're unbuttoned. Now, I know MC doesn't have official game sprites straight from Team Salvato. Here's one sprite that somebody made. It's okay. His crotch is way up there, and his arms are too short. I guess this because this crotch is way up there. The eye style isn't the same as Satchley's. Again, that's just me nitpicking, so I'm sorry how offensive that can come off. Here's another one someone made, which I'm much more happy about. The body, the eyes look odd, and the hair looks odd. So here he is with his golden eyes. And then there is this mesh, or not mesh, this sprite. I'm trying to find a regular, just you stand there, man. Can't you just stand there, man? So, again, his crotch is a little high for just kind of not being able to breathe up there. The boys that can't breathe. Bless you, baby. So it seems the going on for school, bless you again, for the school uniform for the males is the tie, which is cool, fine and dandy, right as candy. Still, it's not unbuttoned. And what I hate about this EA mesh is that there's an extra pocket right there. So this person, it looks like, took off the extra pocket, but kept the normals on. And then there's no pocket square. So, no pocket square. I mean, there's not much really you can do with an EA mesh. This shouldn't be a problem. Is that a problem? Yeah, see? That shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna go all nasally right now. And then the noise, the pants are noisy. So, oh, that's another thing that this person did. No. Wait, is it the pants? It's the pants. There's a dot on his finger because of the pants. Now, let's see if we can see what texture or what recolor that is. I think that's just this. So, EA, are you to blame? No, you're not. Why is there a dot on his finger? So, that's a problem. And then, let's just go ahead and pull up my little Sprite Mashup here. So this is made up of different pieces of the sprites and bases and other things. So because of the rotating and scaling, it's not the best quality as if I were to draw it myself. But this is basically what my Doki character looks like, and her name is Rei. I decided to not make it Reitanna because, for one, it seems that all of the Dokis have their names ending in I except for Monica to make her different, which I kept with that theme for what I named MC. I named him Shinji, so I'm naming his sim Shinji to keep with the I. Not only that, but some people have trouble pronouncing Reitanna. They think it's like Reitanna or something, so I just kept it Rei. For Anna Tier, I decided that her name would be replaced with 3 question marks because you really don't know who she is and you don't really get an explanation of who she is. I should probably go into her character more in depth. This is essentially what she's supposed to look like. And I haven't gotten to her clothes yet. Her casual, I'll have to show you that later. This is an MMD conversion, purchasable on DeviantArt for 10 points, and so I did a couple of versions of these. There are some problems with the morphs right now, so I cannot release this yet. As you can see, when I go over the skirt, it highlights the feet. So if I try to scale the skirt, instead of her hips getting bigger, her feet get bigger. And it's a problem because Rei is kind of a mix between myself and her cartoon version. More myself than the cartoon version. So she actually has a very big butt. And you cannot see that with this mesh. So I'm trying to get help with that. Her hair is a mixture of different things. Some come from Miku Miku Dance mesh, and the rest come from Sims 4 mesh. I do not know why this is happening. This didn't happen in Blender, and it didn't happen in the in Sims 4 Studio. For some reason, the texture's coming up darker on this specific piece of hair. I don't know if that's going to look like that in the actual game, if it's just a CAS problem, but it only looks bad because of the fact that's doing that. It looks decently good if it weren't darker for some reason. Again, the mesh isn't perfect, but you know what? It's pretty damn close to that, and I'm actually decently happy with it. So that's Rei. And I haven't done her other hairs yet, except for taking off the headband. Again, this is much less noticeable if it weren't looking so dark right there. I will have to... my recolor of this person's eye texture does not look as good as it could. So... and her blazer is going to have to work a little differently because her skirt is shorter and floofier. And for those of you who know how Japanese school uniforms work, this wouldn't fly. This would not fly. But then again, neither would, let's see, Sayori. For her uniform, she'd get in trouble. She'd get in trouble for the bow in her hair. Let's go take a look at her. She'd get in trouble for having it open, and for the bow in her hair. Yuri, for anime, we're assuming that these are her, their natural hair colors. For Yuri, they would discourage the pin. For Natsuki, they would definitely say no to the bows and the pigtails and the barrettes. They would have her keep her hair down. If they saw her shirt slightly unbuttoned, they would probably ask her to fix it. For Monica, definitely discourage the bow. I didn't mean to do that. The bow and the ponytail. She would most likely have to keep her hair down, especially, I believe the dress code for high school is a lot stricter than it used to be. So, I am unsure if Ray's hair is naturally rainbow or not. It's probably naturally blue because the blue looked the best for her eyebrows. So she would get in trouble for her hair because you're not supposed to have colored hair. She would get in trouble for her lip piercing. I'm not sure what the rule is about bags. I think they have to be just regular school bags. I don't know if they're allowed to be fun like this. She'd get in trouble for the leg warmers with the bows on them. I'm not sure how shoes work. I know that Monica's shoes are the same as the other Dokis, except hers are pink. For the skirt, it's too short and it has an underskirt. That accessory would get dinged. And I believe the headband, I'm not sure if the headband is allowed. Bringing the stuffed animal would get dinged. And obviously, if they found that she was carrying a rat around, would get dinged. I also noticed that obviously the menu sprites are a lot more detailed than the in-game sprites. The fact that the blazer has more buttons right here, it seems. And just for funsies, let's go ahead and look at Anna Tears sprite. So, she's holding a charmer. But yeah, this is basically her color scheme and such. So, Ray's hair has a black swatch for Anna. So, yep. And the texture looks really good on the black because you can't see any of the details. Boink. No, that's not what I meant to click. I meant to click that. So, and also, unlike me, I am Caucasian. If I do my makeup right, I can look a little bit Asian. I can look at least half. I do have a large half of my family. It's a huge, that half the family is huge, so I can rightfully say that over half of my family is Japanese, but it's by marriage, not by blood. My grandmother on my father's side married a Japanese man. My father is Caucasian, has a different father. Actually, he may or may not be adopted. I don't know about that. But my father and my mother are both Caucasian, both European. I have Swedish, German, Irish on my dad's side, but like blonde Irish, not redheaded Irish. On Erin's side, she says we have Apache Indian, quote unquote, Indian, Native American. We were still calling them Indians when I was growing up. So Apache Native American, but I'm white as snow. So I don't think I could even get away with saying I have any Native American in me. But, and probably English on Erin's side since her maiden name was Evans. So I'm not Asian, but the Rei character is Asian because Japan. So, and her blazer makes her look way too thick. So, I mean, she's like, it's like her, I don't know, it just doesn't suit her body type. So that's what I have so far in-game, pretty much ready to go, at least for personal use. Now, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to start getting my blazer ready. I just noticed that my heartbeat has calmed down a little bit, so I'm going to take my resting heart rate too. Alrighty then, so note that this also is not perfect, especially since I did a lot of this myself. This is a Frankenmesh, so I took that original blazer that had the tie, and I changed the lapels from a different blazer, both EA meshes, so that I could easily take out the tie without having complications. Now, the lapels on that specific blazer, if we change it to the front, are a little uneven, and that drives my perfectionism crazy, but I have to learn to deal with it, and I am going to learn to deal with it, and I'm just going to say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because I don't. I do, but I have to not. You don't understand how much I have to not care. All right, so let's go back to the group and let's go back to, Adahago faces. I don't know how you pronounce that. I haven't actually went in. Let's see. Let's go back to the Fang picture. Okay, so obviously their hair is mostly covering the lapels. So we see the lapels on Natsuki. I know that they are a little bit wider. I have not decided if I'm going to try and make them wider. I might want to just be better safe than sorry. Unlike the ones on that person's lapels, they do not have lines on them. I do know that the higher lapel looks to be about equal size as the lower one. I did not do that. I wanted to keep the mesh the same, mostly the same, with a couple of edits. Now, I actually sampled the colors from the actual sprites. So this is a bluish white. I made the undershirt button up, which was actually quite difficult because this one kept wanting to stretch and this one kept wanting to be like squished. I did take the bow from the other person's blazer. I fixed it because the person did not remove doubles, and there was also an unneeded inner mesh that didn't need to be in the knot. With the sweater, you have no idea how hard it was to find anything that I could even compare to being realistic of this sweater. So I took texture from an EA's child sweater vest mesh for the collar. For the actual sweater itself, I had to look up textures on Google using the King's Charleston diamond knitted pattern. So yeah, it's not perfect. It's not, but it's better than, the cartoony way the other one was working. And the color is a lot more similar to their actual sweater vest. So it looks like Sayori's is unbuttoned as well, and it looks like her sweater is lower in comparison. The bow might be hiding a fourth button. I'm gonna keep up with 3. Looks like Yuri's is unbuttoned at the top. Am I gonna have to make 5 different blazers instead of just... I will figure that out myself a little bit later. Mumble. I made most of this texture myself, which was not easy. I did reference from the original texture of EA's original blazer, but I did have to draw in a lot of these lines myself, because if I overlaid their texture, then it would just look really funky. I had to bake in the shadows and everything, so if I were to remove this bow, in fact, let's do that right now. If I were to hide the bow, you could see that the bow's shadow is underneath right there. I figured it'd be easier to bake a new texture than try to guess. I actually did make the folds myself. I was trying to look up some free Photoshop folds, but I couldn't find anything that were easy to work with and free. So I did reference best I could. I made them really faint, hoping that when I make the normals will take care of the rest of the shading. I decided to make the pockets external instead of relying on the texture. I also remade the buttons, which was difficult because I had to figure out how to unstretch them. I reduced it to 1 button, and the buttons look pretty decent, in my opinion, for something that I did for a 3D thing instead of a 2D thing. I am currently not sure how I'm going to make the lapels more dimensional. So I believe, yeah, the texture is updated right now. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions on how I could, for those of you who understand digital shading and such, if you could maybe give me some ideas of how I could make the lapels more dimensional, that would be very helpful. I did have to tweak the blazer itself, not only to fit the skirt mesh I edited, but also to be closer to the original nude torso. So I brought this in a little bit. I cinched the waist in a little bit, etc., etc. And I have not tested this in game. In Blender, the weights look decent. And I'm hoping that this will work. So we are going to do that right now. So it has a cut of 0. This is the original, so I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Hang on a moment. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is create 3D mesh, go into cast, part type, top, age, adult, gender, female, game pack. It always takes so long to do that. The more CC you have in your Sims 4 Studio mods folder, the longer it takes. But I'm going to go to base game, and I'm going to get a game, because there are still a couple of CC files in here. I'm going to go all the way down, and I'm going to select the nude top, because it has only one cut. And that's just easier to work with. Now, for tops, I'm going to call it DDLC Laser Monica, since it looks like I'm going to have to make 5 different ones for the females. MC's blazer should not be too difficult, honestly. Okay. Just Monica, just Monica. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and import my texture. So this is what it looks like without the mesh on. Alrighty. I'm actually going to... I don't have Photoshop open. I don't remember what color that is. Chotto mate. So I'm actually going to use the actual color for this. Now Monica is going to have a second swatch for her blazer for her glitched version, because the person who made the other blazer added extra packages for different swatches for her glitched version, for when you're recording with a recognizable screen capture and she does the jump scare. I don't know why the person made separate packages for it when you could just do different swatches, but that's basically what I'm doing. I do not have the shadows or the normals or the speculars edited yet. I'm going to go into the mesh, and I only have LOD 0 right now. I'm going to have to rename this blazer as well, if it's just going to be for just Monica. And it shouldn't be too many polygons. Oh, okay, that's good. That's relieving. All right. So it shouldn't look any different, too different in cast than it does in Blender. Why are you being a... What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you frozen on my screen like that? That's weird. I don't know if it's doing it on my recorder too, but Sims 4 Studio is stuck on my screen. I can't see my Blender. Well, if you can see it, congratulations. Oh, there it is. Okay. So sometimes things in Blender will look a little extra shaded, especially because of the lamps. So down here, you can actually see it a little better. So that texture actually looks pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and save that because Sims 4 Studio has a habit of crashing. I'm gonna, let's do gray. I'm gonna put it in formal. And, what would this be made out of? Cotton? Synthetic? I'm gonna go with cotton. I'm putting Asian because Japanese. This is a suit jacket. Burnt or burnt. Should I restrict opposite gender? I don't usually do that. I usually like to keep them, but for this specific thing, I think, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna save that. And here comes the fun part, she said semi-sarcastically. And I'm crossing my fingers. And I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. Did I save it? I don't remember. I want to see the ground give way. I want to watch it all go down. Let me know, for right now, if I finished all of the clothes and stuff and I released a pack on my website, downloadable, would you guys want the current hairs that I just showed you? Would you be okay with those hairs, at least until I updated them myself? Or would you rather me leave them out and for you to either wait for me to do something better or for you to find something better yourself? I mean, regardless, everything would be, optional to download anyway, but just let me know if you would want the hairs, the current hairs, included in the pack. I just like to know these things. Okay, let me get the Sims running. I'm gonna put the mods back in, so that we can deal with the height sliders. I might put in the skins too. Okay dokie. So now we have our heights included. I don't know which of my mods is causing some button issues, but I'm gonna have to track that down. The recent updates, the recent patches have broken quite a few of my mods that I haven't updated yet. So, Sayori and Rei are decently the same height. I think I still need to fix their heights. I didn't want Yuri to be taller than MC, but I don't want MC to be a monster because my height slider can do this. So it literally scales the entire body, doesn't just, scale him up, scales him outward. Okay, so we're gonna test the blazer on Monica since it's for her anyway. Here it is. Cross your fingers. Okay. Now I'm already seeing the same problem where we had with Sayori's. Why is that happening? That is very odd and annoying. Womp 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 womp. I don't like their shoulders being so wide. Okay. So, number one. Number 1 is, I'm going to go ahead and take off her bottoms. Okay. Is that, yeah, the stockings had a shadow on them. That's weird. All right, so the butt's doing the same thing that my skirt's doing. That's weird. I don't like that. I don't like it when things don't go my way. Let's see, the breastises. Okay, so it looks like the bow is acceptable. The fact that it's not clipping is a very good sign. Okay, looks like we got some clipping there. I can fix that. Job that you the way I use my walk, I'm no time talk. So other than some of the sliders, it appears to be moving decently well. So, that hip looks a little weird, but honestly, I think it could be acceptable because it's barely noticeable. Other than that, though, blazer could be a little warmer, I think. Love the creepy walk. Damn. Well, you know what? At least, I can say this, at least some part of it isn't like shooting all over the place. You have no idea how frustrating it is to try and fix those. Okay, so I still need to work on the mesh. But this is how you do it, guys. If you're gonna mod something, you need to test it in-game, and if you see things that are wrong, you gotta try and fix it. Unless, you know, unless you're keeping it for personal use and you personally are okay with this, then that's fine. But if you're going to release it to people, you can't have things like this happening. You can't have things like what's going on with her neck happening. You can't have that happening. You got to think about, basically, even though people are not purchasing this from you, they are still kind of your customers. So the textures look pretty good. Again, the lapels need a little more dimension. But there's no way, even if I weren't a perfectionist, there's no way I would release this blazer to you guys. Because it has too many mesh problems. And I'm gonna fix it. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it, but I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna try to fix it. I wonder if I just need to... Since the shoulders seem to be the only problem, let me make sure all the other sliders are okay. Womp, 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 womp. In we go, out we go. Jesus, there are a lot more problems than I thought there were. This is the part I hate. And you know, it'll look the same. It'll look the same in Blender. When you look at the weights, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the shoulder twist. We'll select that. See, it looks okay because it selects that. I think, you know, and these are the original weights from the blazer, which would make no sense why the scaling original weights from the EA blazer, which makes this even more frustrating. So they're selected just fine. In fact, let me just take a look at all of these. And it'll look fine in Blender. I never understand why the forearm has a loop on this hand too, but it seems to be... I didn't mean to do that! I meant to do this. What? God damn it. I don't think Undo took that away or gave it back to me or whatever. So ooh, I'm hungry. Oh, I need to take my medicine too. So the weights got assigned to the bow fairly nicely, and I'm happy about that. I might have to take a look at the UV one. The UV one shouldn't be any different, though. And this is why I'm not sure if I'm intermediate or not. So yeah. But yeah, that's my work so far, apparently. Let's take a look at Natsuki. Yeah, so Natsuki's face looks a lot better with the overlay I have on her. I don't think the face overlay is in this folder right now, though. No, it is not. And that's a but. So one of their face overlays are not in there, but it basically smooths out the face, and it's an Asian overlay, so it has different eyelids and stuff. Oh, and then I also made her skirt. I know it's not the exact same, but it's closer. It was I edited it from a children's mesh, which scales perfectly fine for some reason. Whap. The shirt does not. But I didn't make the shirt. So this was the closest mesh that I could find. If I find a better one, I will more than likely update her skirt, but that's pretty darn close. And that's all the clothing that I've done so far. So, I say so and like all the time, like, oh my god. Again, that's what I have so far. A lot of problems, a lot of things to fix. But again, it should be a lesson to those who want to attempt to make custom content. If you're working with meshes, because if you're just recoloring, that's a little different. The only problems you have to look for are the texture problems, like some that I pointed out earlier. You're working with a 2D program, but when you're working with the meshes, it's even more critical that you make sure that everything's working the way that it would work if EA made it, basically. At least to the point where it's not so broken that you just can't use it. And right now, that blazer that I made is too broken to be considered acceptable. Also, I didn't add a texture for underneath the blazer because of the fact that their skirts, the blazer goes over their skirts. So, anything else I'm thinking? If you guys noticed something that I different, speak, Reitanna. If you guys noticed something that I didn't on the blazer, let me know. I mean, your butt's not that big, but still, if somebody wants to make you juicy, then that's not acceptable. Juicy. I can't imagine what it looks like on Yuri. Let me take a look. Yeah, that's not happening. The boobs are working decently, except... Huh. That's not supposed to be like that. See, I could remove the doubles right there, but then that would create these weird shadows on the blazer. Honey, maybe your boobs just can't be all that big. No, it's still doing that. Let's take somebody like Natsuki and try it on her. Let's see what happens. Once again, the shoulders. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, so that's something I didn't notice. I'm glad I'm noticing that now. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese, can't I just have things work for once? And then that's more noticeable than that. Wow. Okay, so I'm noticing more things on different body types. Ray should be pretty... Yes, see her badonkadonk there going on. Should give the same results as Monica and Sayori. The breasts are a little too big. That's okay because my breasts are not really that big at all. And it sucks because sometimes they look good big in one top and then they look good small in another, and it just like, okay, I know you're not going to be wearing this blazer, but I do still need to see how it works on you. So most of the same issues. Okay. That's frustrating. Damn it. Oh well. I'll fix it. And if I can't fix it, then I'll fix it. I can do it. I can fix it. Believe in me, people. Please believe in me. So for right now, that's really all I have to show. And again, I'm sorry that there haven't been a lot of videos lately. I have not gone off of my narration hiatus, unfortunately. I still have not gone back to editing muffins. I am on and off again writing, but it's been mostly 3D stuff that I've been working on, and it really doesn't help that my energy level is so low due to lack of exercise. I know that for a fact. Once again, it's getting cooler, so hopefully I'm going to actually be starting to lose weight. I'm going to start going on my diet again, because if these heart palpitations keep up, well, I need to drop sugar anyway. I mean, not completely, but you know, mostly. Sugar is what makes you fat. That's what the sugar industry doesn't want you to know. Fat is bad, sugar is good. That's not how it works. What else? I think I'm going to go ahead and release a video of me reading Ray's description. I might also, god damn, my speech just, it annoys me so much. I think I'm also going to discuss Extraordinary Girl in a video. For those of you who do not know what Extraordinary Girl is, well, I'll explain it, but for those of you who do know what it is, then you've obviously come from my DA. So, with a little effort, Extraordinary Girl might actually end up being a thing, so we'll see about that. So, for this video, make sure to leave a like and click the little bell, subscribe, and spread the word of awesome. I said that out of order. I don't care. And I will become a Reitanna. I'll see you later, alligators and crocodiles. I dropped a button. Goodbye.